Stop just in case.
Hey, you know what?
Sure.
By the look of the windsock, I don't think there's too much of a crosswind, so you might not need a lot of crosswind into it.
Passing 1,500. We'll be climbing up to 3,500. We're clear. Runway 28 now. We're heading south towards city center.
Alright, airspeed's coming alive.
Yeah, we're doing VY on this one, right?
Yep, we're just do VY, normal takeoff. 60 miles per hour, rotate. And slowly nose down gently, and we'll slowly pitch for 82 miles per hour for the climb. Oh wow, visibility is pretty bad.
Yep. Oh, that's smoke, I think.
From the wildfires.
Yep.
How does it make all the way to Ontario?
Oh, that's pretty bad, eh?
Yeah. Well, luckily we're just doing circuits.
Yeah. Alright, coming up on 1700, climbing left turn.
Makes up good regional traffic. That's the 172 Golf Uniform Oscar Bravo, passing 2,700, climbing at 3,500 for clearing the zone to the southeast, switching over to local advisory frequency. Good day.
Alright, looks like we turned a little bit too much over 90. So let's correct it while we still can.
Okay.
Right, you see the solar panels on the left?
Yep.
So this is a good indication we want to start turning already.
Starting turn.
And radio call, we're turning downwind to a stop and go.
Lake some good traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray turning downwind on runway 28, stop and go. Okay, pre-landing checks, circuit breakers, full rich, carb heat hot, both, masters on, fuel selector on both. Missing anything?
Nope.
Altitude just under 2,000, so correct that.
Yep, so let's correct that, and we're getting a beam to the threshold, so
okay.
flaps time,
Flaps
10 degrees.
10 degrees, we're in the white. Degrees. 10 degrees. We're back at 2. A little bit more power to keep from losing too much.
Right, do you see the pond?
I see the pond.
Okay.
Kind of drifting off here a little bit, eh?
Yep. But I mean, we're already to a point where we're about to turn base,
Yeah.
so just focus on that. Right, power reduce, nose down slightly, aim for 80 miles per hour approach. Get that 20-degree flaps down when you're ready. And we want to be at 1,600 feet when we turn final. So use power to control that. The more power you reduce, the quicker you're going to descend. The more power you give, the longer you're going to hang in there. Right, we're at 1,800. And this time we'll try not to turn final too early.
Yep.
think we're slowly drifting away.
Yeah.
So let's correct that because the wind is pushing us to the right. I want to give it some power now because we're already at 1.7.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf, Oscar Alpha X-ray, turning final runway 28, stop and go.
All right, good. Altitude's perfect. Just need to position ourselves a little better on over the center line.
7 miles northwest inbound 28 County.
All right, we're gonna do what did I say? Full flaps or? We'll do 30 today. 30? Yeah.
Okay. 30.
And the approach speed start at 80, and with 30 degree flaps, you can go as slow as, like it says here, about 70 miles per hour. I will maintain slightly faster when we still have a little bit of distance here.
Right.
You can bring it back to 70 when we kind of cross the road over there.
Yep.
And then you're going to pick your aiming point. Use your power to make sure that it sticks on your windshield at the same spot. Use your pitch to maintain your airspeed. Looking good so far. Maintain a slightly nose down, of course. And we're going to wait until that aim point slowly go under the engine there. And then that's where you're going to level off. Hold it level for as long as you can. If you see your nose is not perfectly aligned, then use whatever rudder it requires to bring it back. Remember, we don't have a lot of crosswind today, so probably even don't need any. Because the inertia of the aircraft sometimes can just plow through the crosswind there. Alright, looks like we're going for the aiming point now, so slowly power to idle, and then from now transition to a level, and eyes to the far end of the runway, and slowly continue to pull the controls up. A little too much now, and I'll slowly continue to pull. Alright, at the last moment there, you pull up a little bit too much. So initially, it was a very gradual pull that was good, but we might want to work on that little last moment there that you want to avoid suddenly pulling too much.
Right.
I think it's very common. People, you're like, oh, I'm going down to the ground. It'll go more. Yeah. We'll watch for that. Alright, so this time when we make that crosswind turn, we'll avoid turning too much overturn.
Right.
You can also find something that you can see over there, creates some of your own waypoints, so you know where to point at.
Alright, I'm gonna move this out on this side here. Just
Sure, yeah.
kind of in my way there.
I'll toss them
Okay,
to the back there.
1700, climbing left turn.
St. Thomas traffic, this is Air Sprint 609, we're a citation jet. Currently approximately 60 miles to the east of the field, inbound for runway 27, estimating wheels down in approximately 13 minutes. Air Sprint 609.
Good. Better.
So let me off for 2000.
Yep, and power back.
And power back.
609 Lake Simcoe Unicom, winds Lake Simcoe from 300 at 9 knots. Currently you have one local traffic.
And let's turn left
Traffic
here.
is using runway 28, local altimeter is 3022.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray, turning downwind, runway 28.
Okay, perfect. We're looking forward to seeing you guys. Need any services on.
Alright, we're a little further out. Let's go back slightly in. Let's continue to fix our track here. don't have to wait until we climb to 2,000 before you make your downwind turn.
Right.
If you're already at a distance where it requires you turn, all you need to do is a climbing turn.
Okay.
Alright, I think we're at a better position now. You can bring the nose back to the right and fly a parallel track. And you can also do your pre-landing checks.
Right, pre-landing checks, carb heat hot. Breakers in, magneto's both, master is on, fuel selector to both. I gotta climb up a little bit. Okay, we're a beam, reduce power, we're in the white, 10 degrees of arc, or 10 degrees of flap. There we go, there's my 10. Maintain 2,000.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Uniform Juliet is about 5 miles to the north of the field, northbound, climbing to 3,500, practicing airwork.
You can increase slightly more throttle, bring it back to even 21 to 22.
Okay, turning left base.
Right, power start to reduce, slightly nose down, use your pitch to go for 80 miles per hour. And just like last time, we want to be at 1,600 feet when we turn final. And we'll try to maintain like a square track. Correct for the wind drift. We don't want to get pushed outbound. And what can we also do on the base here? 20 degrees.
20 degrees.
Alright, watch your airspeed a little low, so pitch your nose down to increase your airspeed slightly to 80. Good. Right, we're getting down to 1,600, so you might want to add a little power here to maintain it until we get to the point where you turn final.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha actually turning final for runway 28. A little early.
Right, now you want to pick a touchdown point, and you can also put 30-degree flaps down there. Good. Use your power to control your descent rate. I think we're slightly a little high. We're going to maintain about...
Delta Golf Delta Fox Golf is 5 miles southwest of the field at 2,100 feet, descending down to 1,400 for straight-in downwind for runway 24.
Airspeed is good. We have a slight right crosswind, so you will probably need a very tiny little bit left rudder and right aileron. Just a little bit though, not too much. Because the crosswind is not that really significant. So you hold these tiny little inputs for today, just a little bit. Hold that while descending, while maintaining your glide path with power and pitch to maintain your airspeed. Maybe a little more right aileron because we're on the left side of center line. Good. And then that aiming point is coming up. Slowly power to idles. And then now transition to a level for right aileron and hold that off. Slowly pitch the nose up. A little more right aileron. Right. Rudder back to the center line. Thought about how much rudder and opposite aileron required to maintain on the center line there. It does take a lot of practice to master this technique.
Alright, 1,700, climbing left.
Okay.
Left base for is Air Sprint 609 North Citation Jet. Descending out of 5,500 feet for the RNAV runway 27, currently 15 miles to the east of St. Thomas and landing in approximately 5 minutes.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha actually turning left downwind for runway 28. I guess I don't need to say left, do I?
For the downwind, yes.
Yeah.
We usually mention left downwind.
It's just the final?
It's just the final, yeah.
Central County traffic starting 21317, 3 miles to the east and bound for runway 28, straight in.
And St. Thomas traffic, Drummond Fox, November Bravo Lima, overhead the airport at 5.5 en route to Elsenburg.
St. Thomas traffic, Air Sprint 609, we're now with you guys, headed over from Toronto Center, 4,500 descending towards the field on the RNAV 27. We're approximately 10 miles to the east and estimated wheel count runway 27 in 4 minutes.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, about 6 miles to the north of the field, planning to cross midfield, join the left down for runway 28, stop and go.
Okay, we're a beam. Okay. Boost power into the white, 10 degrees of arc.
Good. And don't forget to put the power back after you put the flaps down.
A little more power.
So this time when you put me on final, I want you to do a full flaps approach for me.
Full flaps.
I'm gonna execute a go around there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm by the pond, turning left base, reduce power, pitch for 80.
Godrich area traffic, Foxtrot Delta Mike Mike, currently at 200 and 13 nautical miles to the south, inbound for Godrich. St. Thomas traffic, Air Sprint 609, 6 miles, final 27, wheels down, 2 minutes. Citation jet.
Ups at 20, go pitch at 80, reduce power. Too much. Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha, actually turning final runway 28. Pitch down for speed.
Is there an aircraft in the circuit in Suffolk?
What was that?
No, I don't think it's for us.
Oh.
Affirmative, Foxtrot Delta 0 is ready for final.
Okay, going down to 30. 30.
Then after the trees, you can put down full flaps for me.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, crossing midfield, join the mid-left down for runway 28, stop and go.
Right, full flaps.
Flaps.
Right, I have control.
Okay, air controls.
Alright, let's say so we're on a stabilized approach here. I'm maintaining my airspeed 70 miles per hour. And let's say I don't like my approach. I think it's not very stable. I'm going up and down like this. I don't like that. I want to overshoot and go again, right? So what I'm going to do, it's because I have 40 degree flaps already. So I'm going to raise the flaps to 20 after applying full power.
Uniform Juliet, turning down
So full power,
stop and go.
carpet to cold, pitch for my best rate of climb, 80, and flaps up to 20 right away.
Oscar Echo downwind 24, Smith.
And then I climb to 1,500 feet first because I don't want to hit any traffic crossing midfield there. Once I have a stable rate of climb, I'm going to raise the flap to 20 and maintain my climb speed, and then the rest to 0. And then now I just climb to 1,500 feet, or until I cross the threshold of 10, whichever comes first. Exit for traffic off Oscar Alpha X-ray to go around 2A, staying the circuit. Looks like we'll be at 1,500 feet first, so I'm gonna level out here, bring the POW back, just fly a normal straight and level flight until I cross the threshold of 10, which is I think about here. And then now I can resume my normal climb. So fast rate, full power, and then just a normal circuit now. Any questions? Right, you have control. Now, because we initiated the go around, we were already slightly high when we crossed the threshold. So I usually will wait until maybe 1,900 or even just climb the circuit altitude before making my turn. So yeah, next time, if you execute a go around, I will extend my departure leg a little bit more before you turn crosswind.
Place Simcoe traffic, Golf Uniform Juliet, turning down on runway 28.
So now we're so close to the solar panel. Right?
See what you mean now.
You might need to execute a climbing left turn.
And Juliet said she was around here somewhere?
No, I think she's on base. Alright, watch your altitude and power setting. And do a radio call.
Yep. Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray, downwind runway 28. Am I supposed to say my altitude when I make those calls?
No.
No?
You should assume everyone here in the circuit know the circuit altitude is 2,000 feet already.
Okay, pre-landing checks, circuit breakers, carb heat hot, magnetos both, masters on, fuel selector both.
Alright, she's short final there landing, so no conflict.
Okay. I'm back up to 2,000, I'm losing altitude. Okay. Degrees. Go. Starting left base.
Okay. And then I want you to do the same. We're going to pretend that we're approaching with full flaps. And then at some point during the approach, I'm going to ask you to go around. And then you're going to execute the go around procedure for me.
Okay.
Right, Julia is doing a stop and go. So I think she is here on the runway yet. Maybe she took off already.
Rich area traffic, Foxtrot Delta Mike Mike, currently 2,200 feet and 5 miles to the south. We'll cross over midfield on the left hand, downwind for runway 14. Godrich.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Oscar Alpha X-ray turning final for runway 28.
Genesee County traffic, Archer 8889 Echo over the pond, coming in on the 45 for left downwind runway 28, Genesee County.
Alright, we can slowly slow the plane down, put more flaps down until we're full flaps.
Too high.
Yep, and then too high, then power out.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, turning downwind for runway 28.
Right, and then you can put down the remaining there. 40 flaps. Alright, now you can maintain a stabilized approach. I will give you a go around command, and then once you hear me say that, you can execute a go around, okay?
Okay, that's carb P cold, full throttle.
We go full throttle first.
Okay.
Alright, let's keep coming down. Not yet, not yet. Let's say suddenly a plane pull out. Let's go around. Full throttle.
Okay, go around, full throttle.
Carb P to cold.
Carb P cold.
Aim for your best rate of climb. At the same time, flaps up to 20. Good, and then climb at your best rate. 20 is good. Oh, you put all the way up. You don't have to put them down. Yeah, that's okay. Maintain center line.
Descending through 2200.
We have a positive rate of climb, so now flaps up to 20, and then 10 stages, and then all the way up if not already. At best rate, 80. And then we climb to 1,500 feet, or if you cross the threshold, you can continue your climb there, whichever comes first. Watch your speed, we're a little too fast, 80 miles per hour climb speed. Alright, we're 1,500 feet, so level off here. And that's the threshold of 10, so now you can resume your normal climb. You can see a lot of things are going on so quickly.
Yeah. We're going up to 17 or 2,000?
Well, we're definitely going to go past 17 because we're already slightly high while crossing threshold.
Right.
So you don't want to turn your crosswind too early.
Right, okay.
Usually I think the sweet spot is about 1,900, but you can definitely go all the way to 2,000 if you like. Alright, 1,900 feet, you can turn now, or if you want to continue a little bit more, that's okay too.
I'll continue a little bit more, level off at 2,000 and then turn.
Yeah, if that makes your workload a little less, then definitely do that.
Okay, now left turn.
Running a right hand state.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, turning bound on runway 28.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray turning downwind for runway 28. She was downwind too, I think, no?
What was that?
I think she just called downwind, but I think...
Nope, she said turning final.
Final? Okay. Yeah. Maybe I heard downwind because I was turning downwind.
Slight out down, it's a little wide,
Yep.
So let's get back again, in between the panels and the grass field there. We'll do one more overshoot procedure.
Yep.
can also start working on your pre-landing checks here.
Okay, pre-landing checks, carb heat is hot, circuit breakers are in, menu both, master is on, fuel selector is on both. Altitude just below 2. Okay, we're abeam, we're in the white, 10 flaps. There's my 10.
Right, we'll do exactly the same setup here. We'll approach with full flaps, and then I will say go around, and then you execute go around, okay?
Yep.
All traffic, Foster, Echo, Richie Kilo, turning left crosswind for runway 24,
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray turning final, runway 28, going for an overshoot.
Lake Simcoe traffic, turning down, Golf Uniform Juliet, turning down for runway 28, both.
And then once you pass those trees, you can put down full flaps.
Yep. Okay, full flaps.
Good. Alright, I would like you to continue your approach here. And then this time, let's say you're in approach, and then suddenly a coyote runs out. The coyote is happily sitting on the runway, and now you go around. So
Yep,
full power,
full power.
RP to cold,
RP
pitch for 80 pass rate. At the same time, flaps up to 20. Yep, this time try to just maintain about here. 20.
Oh.
Right, once we have a stabilized rate of climb, you can retract the flaps in stages. And all the way to 0. And then we'll maintain best rate until 1,500 feet or crossing the threshold of 10, whichever comes first. Alright, maybe we need a little more work on your right hand here, retracting the flaps. Looks like we're exactly at 1,500 while crossing the threshold, so I don't think we have to level off, we can just continue to climb here. Alright, so for this one, I would like or have you do a simulate engine failure this time, okay?
Okay.
So you can fly a normal circuit for me. This will force you to put yourself into a proper position on the downwind. Not too far, not too close. Because if you're too far away, then you're not within gliding distance with the runway.
Lake some good traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha actually turning downwind runway 28.
Okay. Alright, I have control for a little bit here.
Okay, you got control.
Okay. I'll fly the downwind for you.
Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, turning final runway 28, full stop.
Oh, she's on the downwind. Alright, you know what? You have control.
I have control.
Do a normal landing for me. We'll do one more circuit. Let her get off the runway first, and then the next one we will do a simulate engine failure.
Okay.
Pre-landing checks.
Pre-landing checks. Carb heat hot. Circuit breakers are in. Magnetos both. Masters on. And fuel selector are both. Altitude is 2,000. Okay, 10 degrees of flaps.
And I would like you to do a 30-degree whip landing.
30-degree flaps?
Yep.
Okay.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, clear the active on Delta.
Right, airspeed's a little low.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Oscar Alpha actually turning final runway 28.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Golf Golf Uniform Juliet, taxiing Delta Alpha back to the apron.
Right. I will go a bit faster. We still have a bit of a distance here, maybe about 75 miles per hour. Right, we'll do a normal landing. So again, pick your touchdown point. Make sure your nose is always pointing directly straight to the runway center line. We have a slight right crosswind, so it's going to be a tiny bit of left rudder, a little bit of right aileron. Hold those inputs at just as necessary. Time the round out. At the same time holding those inputs. All about multitasking at the same time. So now our nose is too much slightly to the left, so you might want to relax that left pedal just a little bit there. That's a little better. That's what I mean by centering the nose to the center line. Down. Hold those inputs, adjust as necessary. And then when you're about 20 feet high or when those markings go underneath you, time to transition. And this time we'll try not to pull up too much. Right, a little better. Go back to the center line. If you end up landing on the left of the center line, that means that you're not using enough aileron to prevent the drift. Right. So don't be afraid to be a little more aggressive on the controls there. Okay, you can put the aircraft into a stop and then configure it to the takeoff settings again. Flaps up, carpet coat.
Alright, 1700, climbing left.
Okay.
Lake Simple traffic, Cessna Golf, Oscar Alpha 3, turning left downwind for runway 28.
Okay, I have control over here.
Okay, yeah, controls.
Alright, pre-landing checks, gauge is green. Make sure fuel selector, carb heat, max, and that's it. Gauge is green, yep. Doors, windows closed and locked, brakes are good. Alright, so we're on the downwind now. Once we're upbeam to the threshold of 2.8, I'm going to retard the throttle all the way to idle to simulate engine failure. You are going to use your pitch to go for 80 miles per hour best glide right away. And then from there, you don't have to follow your normal base or final turn. Just use your own judgment and land the plane on the first third of the runway. The flaps are still available on you, okay?
Yep.
For traffic, Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray on the downwind, 28, simulated engine failure, direct threshold. Alright, are you ready?
Yep.
Alright, simulate engine failure, you have control.
I got controls. Okay, pitch to 80.
You can warm the engine up one time during the whole simulate engine failure.
Oh.
I would suggest you maintain 80 all the time. This speed will allow you to glide the furthest amount of distance. I will also suggest you point the nose straight to the runway now, because if you keep extending, the wind's going to keep pushing us off there. If you think you require that, I would suggest you use that engine warming as a little cheat to give you a little slightly boost. Up to 1,700, and then pull it back. And that's it.
Okay.
No more engine warming.
Engine warming.
Right. Do you think you can make the runway?
Might
be a little tight.
Yeah.
Well, don't give up yet. We'll see what's happened. Maybe turn left. We want to point straight to the runway. Make sure you maintain 80. Try to avoid the temptation of pulling up the nose, thinking that it will increase your gliding distance, because that will not going to happen. All right, let's overshoot, yeah. Full power, carpet to cold. Yeah, we're a little short. Yeah, we should have turned towards the final a little earlier. All right, we're going to maintain best rate until we're 1,500 feet on top of the runway, just like what we did an overshoot procedure. Then we just keep flying. You can fly us slightly back to the right, back to the runway center line there. Good. Passenger traffic, Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray, any overshoot 208 will be remaining in circuit. Almost there. Alright, we have reached the threshold of the runway, so we can go full power climb again. And we'll make this a full stop.
Yep. Gonna go straight to 2, I think.
Sure.
Lake single traffic, Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray turning downwind for runway 28. Okay, pre-landing check, carb heat hot, circuit breakers are in, Anita's both, masters on, fuel selected both, gauges are in the green. I'm back up to 2,000.
We'll do an optical landing today.
Yep.
For the last one here. Your obstacle, it's going to be 100 foot high.
Okay.
That means when you're crossing the threshold, you'll have to maintain an altitude of 1,100 to clear it.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think your flaps are fully up yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, check. White, degrees.
Yeah, sometimes you do need to visually check if they're fully up.
Right.
Even just kind of flip the lever up all the way to just the double check, right? Okay. Ponds there.
Okay, turning left face. So I still want 1600 on the final, all right?
Yes.
On the final turn. Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha, X-ray turning final for runway 28. Good shot.
And I want your landing to be executed with 30 degree flaps.
30 degrees. At the threshold, right?
Yep, 1,100 feet at the threshold. And also watch your speed a little low. We're below 70. Keep an eye on your altitude. We're okay for now. Right, 1,100 minimum here. Yep, maintain that over the threshold. Alright, you're clear of the obstacle, you're clear to land now. Right, went to about 20 feet, a little bit right aileron to prevent the wind drift. Right rudder back to the center line. And when it is slow enough, you can slide your feet up, apply gentle, even brake pressure. And then we will make a left turn and exit on Delta there.
Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha, X-ray is clear, runway 28 on Delta.
Post change. Oh, I threw the things to the back there.
Landing time.
I have 9:44.
44. Okay. Right, post landing carburetor heat cold, throttle to 1,000. Mixture lean for taxi. Transponder to standby. Oh, thank you for that. Flaps retracted. Unnecessary electronics, we didn't turn any on, and landing time recorded. We're good.
Right, let's go back to the apron.
Okay. Lake Simcoe traffic, Cessna Golf Oscar Alpha X-ray taxiing to main apron via taxi rate Delta Alpha.
Okay, so you learned several new things today.
Yes.
We did simulate engine failure on the downwind, and we also did obstacle clearance takeoff and landings. So for the simulated engine failure on the downwind, you really need to have a good understanding of how well a 172 glides. It's not very aerodynamic. It's basically a flying washing machine, so it has a lot of drag. especially in a very strong headwind day, you really don't have much of a gliding distance. That's why it's very important that when you're flying a circuit, you want to maintain a good distance between yourself and the runway. You don't want to be too far away, but you don't want to be too close to it, because if you're too close, then you leave yourself little room there for the base leg there, right? But if you're too wide, then if you have an engine failure, you have nowhere to land.
Right.
So it's very important you maintain that equal distance while flying the downwind. And yeah, as you can see, you don't really have to extend your downwind that much before making a turn towards your final there. Usually I would just maybe extend for a couple of seconds and then I would start turning already. Because even if you're high, what you can do is you can put down all the flaps all at once to create a lot of drag. And if you remember, we did forward slip too a couple lessons back, right? You can do a very aggressive slip to help you lose the altitude, right? It's better to be high than below, because you don't have your engine, you won't have power to gain those altitude back.
Right.
As for obstacle clearance takeoff, it's pretty straightforward. Just hold your best angle of climb until your obstacle is clear, obviously. And as for landing, same thing. Just want to be above that height until you're clear, and then you can continue to land.
Okay. Any criticism on that last landing there? Coming in on
I think you kind of do it a little bit too rush.
Yeah.
Because the landing should be considered of 3 phases, right? It's come from nose down to level, float a bit, and then slowly, gradually bring it to a slightly nose up as you continue to go down there. The last one there was kind of nose down, and then immediately you just kind of skip the level up phase there and then go straight to the nose up. It was still a firm, safe landing, but I would like to see more like more distance, like level, flow a little bit, and then nose up. So from here, we'll start doing a mix and match kind of thing here. Occasionally, I will give you an engine failure. Sometimes I'll also give you a overshoot procedure there. Oh, talking about overshoot procedure, just be a little careful on the flaps retract there. We're gonna go to 20 and then just leave it there.
Okay.
You have any questions?
Spot?
We'll park on the second row, which face that way.
Yeah, back it in.
We'll have to shut down and then push it back in.
Yeah. No questions. I think pretty receptive of what you just said.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yep, we'll park on the left side of SJC.